Hey everyone, this is MrAddOil again, helping you fight your today for your better tomorrow. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about what are the best practices, the best ways for you to prepare for your coding bootcamp. And if you haven't had a chance to look at my last blog, I wrote a pretty comprehensive blog post, and there's going to be a video series coming out each week on the 10 reasons why I made a switch from software sales to software development. So you should start with that blog post that I'll have linked in the description for you to figure out why you should get into software development. That's a great place to start, because once you go through that exercise, it will empower you to start preparing for your coding bootcamp, which is the topic that we're going to be talking about in this video series. So who is this video for, or this video series for? This is for someone who has been contemplating whether they should join a coding bootcamp, or they know in their minds that they want to join a coding bootcamp and they want to be set up for success when they actually execute on joining a 3-month coding bootcamp or even like a 6-month coding bootcamp. And it's for the person who wants to be thoroughly prepared to make their career change a success by ensuring that when they join their coding bootcamp that they'll hit the ground running and they wouldn't be struggling as much. There's a saying that when success happens when preparation and opportunity kiss or meet. So meaning that in order to be successful, you have to be thoroughly prepared for the right opportunity to birth that success. So if you're considering becoming a software developer in the future by joining a coding bootcamp, you want to be prepared as much as possible so that when you have the right opportunities in front of you during that coding bootcamp, whether it's through the curriculum, the courses, or even the people you meet, you'll be extremely prepared to have those intelligent conversations that are high level versus like, oh, I have a question about what is a var, what is a for loop, these basic vocabulary questions. It's when you're in that situation where you're paying a lot for a coding bootcamp, you want to be asking those thought-provoking questions that will help accelerate you to the next level. And that's where good, thorough preparation prior to a coding bootcamp helps a lot. And the way you should use this blog post that I'm going to link down in the description of this video and this video series is you want to go through each of the 4 points that I've mentioned in the blog or in this video series, and you want to start practicing them right away. And in this video, we're going to talk about the first best practice, which is starting with you, and which involves starting with your why, and also the 5 W's and the 1 H, and also starting with these 7 good habits, building those 7 good habits that I'm going to talk about in this video. And then in the next videos, we're going to be talking about other things, which you can stay tuned. Please subscribe, and then you can enjoy that type of content as I push them out in the future. Cool. So in this video, like I said, we're going to be talking about the first best practice, which is starting with you, self-preparation, starting with you. And then the first thing that we're going to talk about is scoping out your why. I think there's this person called Simon Sinek, and he champions the thought of why you should start out with this question of why before you do anything. And then the way my interpretation of that, I kind of take it a step further with building out your story that you want to see unfold in the future, right? And then in writing, I think when we're in school, we were taught how to use the 5 W's and the 1 H, right? It's the what, when, where, why, who, and then how, right? So for this particular exercise, you want to scope out your story with these 5 W's and then the final H, the how. And this is very powerful because whenever you hit roadblocks or challenges in the future, you can revisit this like 1 paragraph self-statement to yourself on the reasons of why you're making this journey, why you're spending so much time and energy in preparing. So you want to start with who. of the story, right? And that who normally would be you. So you can be scoping it out saying, I am this person who wants to make this career change. I was this person who was in this other career path that I really didn't enjoy, and I think this will be a better fit. So scoping out who of that story. Next will be what happened to this person, right? This could be something in the past where what of that story is in my previous career. Like for me, for example, I just got burned a lot in the sales career where it was like kind of a black and white or kind of some sort of shade of gray type of environment where you're like a rat in what you can call it, that wheel thing where you're always just like running to meet your next number, right? So that will be the what in my story. Like I just didn't enjoy that type of grind. And when did it happen? So it happened throughout this past 2 to 3 years, right? When I was actually trying my best to, try to make a living in this sales career. And where did it happen? It happened during these times where I was in these sales roles, working for startups and tech companies where I felt this. And why did it happen? Well, I'm not gonna blame like everyone. It probably happened because it wasn't a good fit for me, right? Why did all this happen is because this career path or the environments that I was in, it wasn't a mutual good fit for me and for the companies that I was representing as a salesperson. And then finally, when you scope all this out, and then you can be like, okay, I have these 5 W's of why and what and where all this happened. And then you can be like, okay, now that I know where I came from, now I can scope the story or write the story of how I'm gonna change that. And then how, well, for most of us who are discovering that they should probably do a coding bootcamp, the how will be preparing for a coding bootcamp, going and participating in a coding bootcamp, graduating, and making that career switch into software development. That is the how in our story. Cool. So that's all for today's video, which was talking about self-preparation, starting with the why you're getting into preparing for a coding bootcamp. And I'll see you in the next video. This is MrAddOil helping you fight your today for your better tomorrow.